What can a 2000 watt all-in-one battery bank actually power? Whether you go with Jackery, Bluetti, EcoFlow, you've probably seen these knocking around online.
The main purpose of the video is the 2000 watt hours, how long it can power things for and what it can power. These are some of the things we're going to be testing, and we're going to use them just everyday normal way.
And I finally went out and bought one, so I actually paid my own money for this, so it's totally unbiased. The reason I got this one is it was a refurb and it was 720. Now these
tend to retail for around £1,000 for a 2000 watt capacity. For me, I wanted something portable and expandable. I'll do a separate review for the actual unit that I've got, but let's get back to testing.
So we're going to do real world testing today, so no science waffle. We're just going to talk about, can it power the coffee machine? Can it do an induction hob? Can you use this in your daily life, whether you're using it for an emergency backup, whether you're using it for a boat, whether you're using it to try and save a little bit of money on your electric bill. So we're going to look at different ways it can charge, and we're going to look at what we can use it for. So we're talking real world usage. Now this video, we're going to jump around different scenes. So at home right now, but we're going to be in a hotel room, car camping, and on my boat. So different environments, different test setups. So let's check it out. Hope you appreciate the effort that I'm putting in to making this video, guys. Good morning. So let's do the breakfast test first of all. So that's going to include using the Sage Barista Pro, which has its built-in grinder function, to make 3 coffees. So the first coffee is going to be a large one with double shot. And then we're going to move on to a single shot cappuccino, so both cappuccinos, and then a black coffee. Once I've made the coffees, I'll then move on to making a sausage and egg sandwich, because I think that's a reasonable amount of time. Quite a popular breakfast item here in the UK. But we'll be using the air fryer for the sausages and the single induction hob for the egg. But I'm going to power them each separately and record kind of the before and after to kind of give you a kind of real world expectation of using something like the battery.
We're on 100% charge at the minute, and the way you switch it on is the power button on the left. Once the touchscreen has loaded, you'll have DC and AC power. So for the main power plugs, it's AC, and you switch that on. The coffee machine I'm going to be using here is the Sage Barista Pro. It's a very good machine, and I'll leave the link in the description below. But anything that heats up, like kettles, induction hobs, they use a lot of power. The highest load of testing that I've done on here, surge-wise, has been 2000 watts, and that was for a kettle. On the grinder function, it used between 200 to 300 watts while it was grinding the coffee beans. On the espresso, it went to around 1200, and steaming the milk, it went to about 1300 watts, which is way below the surge capacity of this battery. Probably the one of the most important ones for me. So we've got large cappuccino, double shots, single shot, and then an Americano single shot. The battery is now on 91%, and then it took a total of 8 minutes and 32 seconds to make all 3 drinks. But we're going to do the air fryer now with the sausages. So we just need to put the AC on, which will do the main plugs. And here we go. 180 for, we'll do 12 minutes. There we go. As it's heating up, it's recording 1218 just here. All done. That was 12 minutes at 180, and it's used 10% of the battery. We'll move on to the induction hob now, which is on P2, which is meant to run at 600 watts. We're going to cook the egg for 4 minutes. Now on the screen itself, it goes up to 873 and not the 600 watts. That's why I take manuals with a pinch of salt while we're doing this test. So far the Sage Barista machine has been underpowered and the induction hob has been overpowered. Sandwich is made. That's 79% left over. That's from the 3 coffees, the air fryer and the hob. The next test setup will be kind of like an evening kind of test, where from 7 PM to 11 o'clock we'll have the TV playing on in the background, connected to a cable box. We'll be having the tablet on, which is the Samsung tablet, playing on a little mini game, and we'll have a regular laptop. So this isn't my high-powered spec one, this is my parents' just everyday laptop. Then we'll be charging 2 mobile phones.
One would be used as a hotspot just to kind of replicate, let's say, a grid down situation. But for the most part, you know, let's just assume you've gone to work in the day, you've got a small solar setup, you've charged your battery, and you're coming home just to kick back and relax, and we'll do that. The TV and the cable box and the laptop is going to be plugged in to the regular plugs here. My phone is going to be on hotspot mode, charging wirelessly. The tablet is going to be plugged into the USB, just like the other phone would be. These things aren't just for emergency backup, you can use them in your daily life. For example, you could go to work, have this charging on solar, by the time you get back it's on 100%, and then you can do your evening entertainment running off the battery, which means you're not adding any additional electricity costs to your house.
The TV is using 230 watts, that includes the cable box and the laptop. We'll check back in 4 hours and see if the devices have charged to 100%, and let's see what the remaining battery power says on the Bluetti. For you keen-eyed viewers, it is 7 o'clock. I haven't updated the time for the daylight saving hours because the clocks went back this weekend when I was recording this. It's now 11 o'clock, we're on 59%. We've got the TV on and the device has been charged. But let's check it out. We're on 59%, and at this discharge rate, we've probably got about 5 to 6 hours left of TV time. Let's switch it off and charge it up. I urban stealth camped in Bristol for a couple of nights because I was working in the area, and with driving up to Scotland a little bit later in the week, I didn't really want to drive too much. As you can see, it's pretty dark, so we'll cut to the boat where I basically did the same thing. Now I'm gaming on board. I got my microphone plugged in. I've got my phone charging, being used as a hotspot just on there using the wireless charger. And then I've got my 2 ports plugged in. So one has my laptop in, the other one has this extension cable in, which then has the fridge freezer that I've got. And then this will, once it's reached temperature, will cut off, so it won't use as much power. And then if I'm not using my gaming laptop for gaming and just surfing, it will use less energy, but at the minute I'm using 253 watts. In theory I can game and keep the beer cold for 8 hours, but let's move on to the Sage Bambino Plus and let's see how much battery that uses. We started with 61% and finished with 56%, meaning it used 7% of the battery, which means in theory we could make 14 cappuccinos.
Isn't technology amazing? I'm playing against 31 other people online on my gaming laptop here and being able to talk to people all over the world while I'm gaming. I got my phone as a hotspot, which is charging on top of here, and I'm using power that I got from home earlier. I've charged up my battery bank and the car on the way here. And yeah, I've got, cold beer, of course, and I've got 85% left, and I can do this for another 8 hours of drinking and gaming before the battery runs out. Isn't that great?
The next test is going to be the cool box using a 24 volt and 12 volt socket. We're going to be testing a kettle, and we're going to be cooking using the induction hob. I'm working during the day, and then this is hotel for the next 3 nights. This test is going to be the fridge freezer. We're going to be powering it by the AC plug. We're going to be running it overnight from 11 o'clock in the evening till 9 o'clock in the morning. I had 2 cigarette lighter chargers in the van, so I plugged the fridge freezer in to pre-chill it, along with trickle charging the power bank, and it's drawing 68 watts. We dropped down to 2 degrees and minus 17 on the cool box, and we're on 81%, so around 50 hours in total it can power this. We're using the cigarette lighter now. Let's push it on. This will be under the DC power. You see where it says AC here and DC, so all of these will be DC. It will run a little bit more efficient using the cigarette lighter charger, and that's because you're not changing AC to DC, you're powering it direct. And the test times were 9 in the morning till 8 PM. It's used 18%, running at 32 watts. It's about 18% of the battery over 11 hours. The fridge freezers switch on and off depending on the temperature. Next up, we're going to make my famous chicken pineapple katsu curry using the induction hob, the kettle, the Bluetti. I've been cooking in hotel rooms for many years. Originally I was going to do this car camping, but here we go. Slow is pro, so we're going to be shallow frying the breaded chicken breast on the induction hob. The katsu curry itself comes in kind of like a stuck kind of cube. And to cook that, we're going to boil the kettle from the hotel room itself, and we're going to cook the rice using the same water. The rice is already pre-cooked, so in theory you can just eat it how it is, but I want it warm. We're starting this test at 62%, and the induction hob goes between 276 up to 900, and I've got it on program level 3. Here's the cooking setup. So we are now on 56%. We've been running for about less than 10 minutes. Looking pretty good in there so far, so good. And then what I decided to do, I put the curry sauce in there, so I'm going to add hot water from the kettle, likewise with the pineapple in my Yeti cup, which is pretty good by the way. And then I'm going to put the rice in with the hot water, stir it around, so just enough to kind of cover it, and then I'll drain out the water, and that should heat up the rice sufficiently. And then it's going to go in the pineapple, then I'm going to put the katsu and the curry and everything together. I'm going to do the kettle now. We're on 54% and the time is 20:39. And that is going full out there, 1955. The kettle has just boiled. The time now is 20:42, so it was 4 minutes at the 2000 mark, and we're now on 48%. I've been really happy with the power bank. It's been very helpful. The links for the products that I like are in the description below, and I'll do an independent review of the actual unit itself. The all-in-one power banks do come with a series of charging methods. You have the main power bank, you have solar connections, and then you have the car adapters. The car adapter would just trickle charge via the cigarette lighter, but you can now wire them into the car's alternator using the new product. And while you're running the engine, it would charge the battery about the same speed as the wall plug. If you had a camper van or a boat and you wanted to permanently install them, might be an idea. With the regular cigarette lighter charger, so this is charging in the van, started at 78%, and after an hour and 15 minutes drive, it was charging at 120 watts, and it was 85% battery, so 7% added. On the Bluetti website, it does state that it would take 18 hours to charge it fully from the car charger. The quickest way is by the wall, and it charges at 457, and I found that every hour adds about 20% of battery capacity. So from 0 to 100%, you're looking around 5 hours. Although the power bank itself is very quiet, that's not the same as the charger itself, which sounds like a hairdryer on low setting. I'm very happy with the purchase that I've made. It's only because I got a big discount from eBay. That's why I went for the 200p. I would have went for the other one, which is the next one up is about £100 more. It comes with an app, a couple of extra power plugs, and you can add a little bit more solar. And then that's the AC200L, but the capacity for the battery is the same, just like the very popular AC Max. I'll leave the links below so you can check it out yourself. Thanks for sticking around, really hope this has helped you, and thank you if you liked the video. It does take a long time for me to put these together. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below and I'll try and get back to you. Thanks for watching, thanks for being fans, welcome if you subscribed, thank you if you liked, and we'll see you on the next one. If you like the outdoorsy stuff and alternative living, I do have a boat tour video. I'll be doing a few car camps over the winter, and I'm going to film my setup for you.